Tell them who they're listening to.
Station in 30 seconds. Five, four, three.
All right, that's that slow vibe, man. You know, we got people tuning back in. We got Dana Busby at Busby Plumbing. As you know, they are the best plumbers from here to the Mahale. So that's right. I think we're on YouTube Live right now. We're on YouTube Live at Roku. We are listening in again, Commish Radio Show. We are celebrating Veterans Day, and the backdrop, you see that we have a big check that will be broadcast. We will talk to Judge Dominique Collins about that in a few. But I want to go ahead and close out again with the election cycle again. We can talk about this later on the YouTube channel as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Ed Gray, just simple, Ed Gray. It's sort of like Distinguished Gentleman, vote the name you know. I don't know who to vote for. Ed Gray seems like a good name, let's vote for him. How about this? We're going to go ahead and do that. But before we do that, we want to talk about people who you did or did not vote for. Tarrant County, the largest county in Texas that's red, maybe possibly in this United States, the largest county in Texas that's red turned purple. Well, turned purple, but it only turned purple just for a season. It turned purple because, surprisingly, Beto, if I'm not mistaken, carried Tarrant County, which is a surprise. Albert Roberts ran for district attorney against the district attorney, Judge Sharon Wilson, and he received 45 percentage points in the 45 percentile range. As you know, I, generally speaking, don't endorse for candidates, but however, during this election cycle, I wanted to go ahead and speak out for social justice, and I wanted to go ahead and send a special shout out to Mr. Roberts, who was running an uphill battle against Judge Sharon Wilson. But we need to take in consideration that if you are involved in social justice, elections are just something that occupy the calendar, because social justice is fought year round, 365 days a year. We just don't stop and say, well, the election's over with and everything's going to be cool until the next election cycle. That's not the case. So that being said, I would like to say again, we need to continue to fight for social justice, and one day Fort Worth will be free. Fort Worth will be free. Houston, Harris County already is free. Black Girl Magic has been involved in Houston, Texas. I believe Houston, Texas has one of the largest incoming classes, if you will, of judges that were elected, black female judges that were elected. That being said, this is what justice is all about. Justice is about diversity. In America, it's a strange thing. We talk about diversity, but we really don't believe in it. If all things were equal, 50% of the people in this United States, 50% of the people would be women in elected office, if all things were equal. But things are not all equal in this United States. So these things are not being equal in these United States. We want to go ahead and try to go to a part in America in which we are trying to make things equal. And yep, I'm about to talk about the Dallas DA's race. Yeah, it's been a long one, right? It's been a long one. The Dallas DA's race. It was like Ali and Frazier versus Ali and Frazier again. Everybody that seems to be running for DA these days appear to have the title judge in front of it. So we had Judge Elizabeth Frizzell, Judge John Creuzot, Judge Faith Johnson. Everyone's a judge. Now, this battle for who's going to be the DA, who's going to basically run legal department for Dallas County was fought right here. You know, we had all of them appear on the show, and as you know, on the show, how this show is funded is through also candidates who come in and make a donation as well. So all of the candidates who came in, they made a donation, and we appreciate the donation. But because of the fact that the donation was received, we don't make any kind of basically we don't go ahead and go and support like that. We don't do that because that would be improper. But what we do talk about is what's on the ballot. And what was on the ballot was bail reform. What's on the ballot was mass incarceration. Those are the things that are central to the psyche, if you will, of this show. This is what makes this show go around. It's about, as Maurice Washington 06, social justice continues. As he says, this is what this is about. So when we talk about that, this is what we're dealing with. So when I looked at Judge Faith Johnson's brochure came out and it stated about Roy Oliver. And I received it, and I saw it, and I said, well, she's bringing social justice into it. And she's saying, well, hey, look, this is what we have is with Roy Oliver, being the fact that Roy Oliver, the Roy Oliver trial, that we got a guilty verdict on that. But there are a few other people who have not received a guilty verdict on things that had happened to them. So I did not want to go ahead and make it seem like just one case is going to be the reason why you should vote for them. So that is the reason why I went out on the day of election and then did my Facebook Live feed in which I stated that this is what we need to talk about is mass incarceration. We need to talk about bail reform. In fact, most of the people that are in the Dallas County jails are innocent. They're innocent because they haven't made bail. So that is one of the things we need to talk about. And the mere fact that most people who are running on the Republican ticket, they are for locking people up, and not for bail reform. So that being said, I am pleased that Judge John Creuzot won in that race, and let's now hold him accountable, as we should hold everyone else accountable for the deeds that they have done, and also for the promises that they have kept. And that being said, we're going to keep the promise during this second hour as we honor our veterans again about this. And I do see Miss Ruth Ferguson of the North Dallas Gazette, the editor of the North Dallas Gazette, and the award-winning editor of the North Dallas Gazette, in which I believe we received an award, the Robert S. Abbott Award, for our article on Confederate statues. So we will be talking about these past elections as they had occurred, and also what will be occurring in the next election cycle. So shout out to all those people who are tuning in, listening in to fbrn.us, in which you can go ahead and hear the complete unabridged version of the Commish radio show. That being said, stay tuned for the next hour in which we honor our veterans with Judge Dominique Collins. All right, we will be right back after this break. Strip.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Wooten, and I'm the owner of Center of Attraction Hair Gallery. And when I want to be informed about what's going on within the DFW communities, I tune in every Saturday to the Commish radio show with Ed Gray from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Join us.